Welcome to Unlock Your Wellbeing, the podcast that teaches you the simple keys to health and happiness so that you can grow as a human being into a well-being. And now here's your host, author, certified wellness coach, mother and wife, Alisha Leytem. John C. Maxwell once said in his amazing book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, that in order to grow, you have to know who you are to grow to your potential. But you have to grow in order to know who you are. This is an excerpt from the second law in his book that he refers to as the law of awareness. And I love this law that he teaches so much, especially when it comes to stepping into a new month, a new quarter, a new season, a new phase of life that I am really intending with deep attention and awareness to grow and to step into. And so what I want to share with you guys today in this episode is my process for closing out a month, closing out a quarter, and also planning my intentions and my goals for the upcoming month and the upcoming quarter. So this is a really awesome value-added podcast that I think you guys are really going to enjoy. So if you do like it, share it, tag me, send it to your friends, put it on your your Instagram stories, all of the things. Okay, so like I was saying, the law of awareness from John C. Maxwell says that you must know yourself to grow yourself. And what I see as a coach over and over again is that most people like to set goals and to constantly look forward without doing any of the true inner work within and looking a little bit back in order to change moving forward. And the reason for this is because it's kind of uncomfortable to get to that place. It's kind of uncomfortable to just kind of look back a little bit and do some deep reflection, because this asks you to kind of look in the mirror and know who you are. You have to know who you are. And to know who you are, you have to study yourself. I've said this for so many years, but if you want to master a subject, then you study that subject, right? You go to college, you study an area of psychology or business, accounting, whatever. But when it comes to ourselves, we don't think that we have to study ourselves. We think we just know ourselves just because we do. But that's not true. We have to do a lot of inner work to really know who it is that we are. And so I believe that we must study ourselves in order to know who we are and to put what it is that we're studying into practice to intentionally grow. Many people think that just because they're aging, just because they're getting older, means that they're growing. But age is not correlated to growth by any means. You can be in the same place years later and think that just because you're older, you're a little more wise. And to some degree you are, right? Life experiences do help with that. But to be super intentional and truly grow into the potential that you desire, then you must know who you are. And so this process that I do very regularly is super helpful in studying thyself and studying me and studying my habits and studying who I am and what I desire and what I need to release, what I need to forgive, to clear space in order to then step into that next phase, that next level, those next goals, the next part of my life vision that I am very intentionally co-creating for myself and my life, right? So you want to ask yourself, do you feel like you have a sense of direction? Okay. And if you kind of feel like you're just living a little aimlessly, or you're just kind of letting life happen to you, then I think that this is something for you to look within and just be honest with yourself. Do I feel like I have stepped into my own power and that I truly have a sense of direction and I'm stepping into what that is? Now, if you don't know exactly what that is, try not to get too hung up on yourself of that, because part of the process is planting the seed of what that could be and then allowing it to reveal itself to you. You can't necessarily force this, but you can cultivate it. You can water the seed and nurture it and nurture yourself. Okay? I hope that makes sense. So what I encourage you guys to do is, when you're listening to this, the day that this episode comes out is going to be April 1st. I am recording this on March 31st. So this is actually perfect because it is the last day of a month and it's the last day of the first quarter of 2022. I love the energy of a new month. I love the energy of a new quarter. I just love the energy of new beginnings, of new possibilities, of the next level, of the next step, of like new seasons, right? I'm sure you can tell if you've been tuning into this podcast that that's something I'm really passionate about, because I've been talking a lot about that and giving you all a lot of really valuable tools to help you harness the energy of like this new season, right? And so before you can or should look to the month of April for your intentions of what you want, or the second quarter, you have to take a moment to close out this last quarter, to close out this last month. So what do I mean by that? This means you have to study yourself, and just sit down and get really quiet and honest with yourself. Just open your heart up to these last few months. And so grab your journal, sit down and start reflecting. I like to even pull up my calendar to help me remember certain moments and certain things that happened. And so what I want you to do as you're reviewing this last quarter is look at first and foremost, what are you grateful for? What are you proud of yourself for? What did you accomplish? Okay, what's going well? What worked? And really highlight those things that worked, those things that you harnessed, that you cultivated, that you integrated, that you tried, that you released, that you brought into your life. Okay? Identify what worked. Now, once you identify that, then you need to look at, okay, what do I need to forgive here? What did not work? Or what is something that I tried that I don't want to bring with me moving forward anymore? And this could be, a routine that you have, a relationship in your life, a way that you are showing up in your work, people pleasing, lack of boundaries, healthy habits, right? Any of these things are something that maybe you want to release intentionally, to clear and create space to bring in the new things that are better aligned with this next phase of you as you go into this next level. Also, it's super important that as you identify the things that didn't work, that aren't working, that you want to release, is to forgive the things that you need to forgive. Okay? Like, I deeply forgive this thing that happened. I deeply forgive myself for this. I deeply forgive this. I deeply forgive that. Okay? Because the goal of this exercise isn't to create shame for yourself of, wow, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. It's more of being grateful for what did work. Okay? Being proud of yourself for what you did do. And also, okay, I can bring in this, or I need to forgive this, or this is what needs to change moving forward. Okay, so you can be grateful and proud of yourself, and also know that it's time for you to step into your power a little more. Okay, so reviewing it, releasing it, letting it go, thanking it, having gratitude for it, all of those things. Now, once you've done that, once I do that, then you are in a much better place to look forward. Now that you've closed the past, you've closed it, it's done. There's nothing else we can do, but it's important to review it. Now intentionally close it, release it. Now look towards the future, okay? And so as we look to the future, when it comes to a month-by-month basis, I encourage you to do this on a month-by-month basis, right? So at the beginning of May, do this just for May and June, July, any time of the year that you're reviewing or listening to this episode. Definitely do that. But right now is a really unique opportunity to look at the next quarter as a whole, okay? And so I always teach my clients to work backwards, right? Understand and know what it is that you are creating for your life. So ideally you have like a vision for your life, right? A vision for, wow, if I could have anything, this is what I would want for myself. And then you work backwards, like, okay, well, this, I believe that this could happen, or I could create that or have that in 5 years. So I'm going to work backwards. What is something that I want to put my attention on? What's my focus on for this year, for 2022? Then with that in mind, you can work backwards even more in breaking that down into quarters and goals within those quarters and intentions within those quarters. And so you can work, and break that down even more into, okay, if this is where I'm heading, you remember what I said at the beginning? Your sense of direction. Very important. If you don't know what you're aiming for, then you're just aiming for anything and hoping that it lands for where you aim, but it doesn't work like that. Your intention is what you're aiming for and how you're being on the way to what it is you're aiming for. So thinking in that kind of lens is how I do life and how I believe it's super important to bring this deep level of awareness to, who you are, your sense of direction, where you're going, what your life vision is, and then working backwards with deep intention of your plans and what you're doing along the way and next, right? So think into this next quarter. And in fact, everything I'm talking about really is my framework for the key of intention, I call it, which is the 6th key in my book that's coming out at the end of April 29th, 2022. The 6 Gold Keys to Well-Being, a guide to unlocking a healthy and happy life. So the 6th key is the key of intention. And so to unlock the key of intention, you need to have intentions in place for what I call your intentional life wheel. And this is all in the book, so I want y'all to go to my website, AlishaLeytem.com, and sign up for the book launch list so that you don't miss the minute it's available for you. But the 5 areas that you really want to think about and focus on are 1, your health and well-being. 2, your relationships. 3, your career. 4, your life vision. And 5, fun. Okay? I get a kick out of how when I include fun in there, people are like, oh, wow, I hadn't even thought about that. Yes. Part of your life is to have fun, but notice what you want to do. And you can kind of look at this wheel in like the first quarter of this year and ask yourself, what area have you put the majority of your attention on? And it's not to say that every area is going to be perfectly equal, but notice, what percentages of your life, of your day, you focus on which one. And then take a step back, being super aware and honest with yourself okay, where do I need to put more time and effort and energy and intention into which area in this next quarter and specifically this next month? And then as you're planning out the next month, this upcoming month, you can look at, all right, how much is on my calendar here for this area? What's on my calendar here for this? What's my intention here for this, right? So with your health and well-being, what's like one focus, what's one intention that you're planning on for this season, for this next month? And is that in your calendar? If you are a person who is very organized and very structured and lives, according to your calendar, which I believe most of our listeners are, as I know many of you are professionals, and even if you're not like a professional of your home, right, a leader of your home, you're a leader in some way, if it's not in your calendar, it's likely not happening. And you can tell yourself it is, but again, reflect and say, okay, how did that work for me in this last quarter or even this last month, right? So once you identify what that is for your health and well-being, your intention for that, plug that into your calendar. Is it going to be, a nightly walk with your family after dinner each night now that the days are longer and it's getting warmer outside? Are you signing up to do a new workout program? And you can very easily plug into your calendar which workouts you're doing which day. You don't even have to plan the workouts. All you have to do is plug it into your calendar and then pull it up and open the workout that you're doing based on whoever it is that you're getting that workout plan from. Does this make sense? In terms of your life vision, okay? I spoke a little bit about how I kind of break down my intentions and my goals for my life vision in, I believe it was the last episode 10 on spring cleaning your wellness routine. But one area that I'm focused on is really creating more of like a semi-homestead, natural, very more natural life for myself and my family with like my cooking and my food, et cetera, et cetera. And my focus for this year is to bring in a couple things into the kitchen. So last year I really focused on, for Q2, actually it was Q3, it was more of the summer of, what was it? I got my sourdough starter going, which is still running, honey. And I learned how to use my Instant Pot, okay? And so applying those, and you can go back and listen to what mine were for this year and that last episode, but that's one area of my life vision. The other one, then I personally apply my finances to that, right? So, okay, I want to have this much in this account for, this down payment by this day. Where are we at here? What's going on here? Et cetera, et cetera. How are things going with my accountant? What do I want here? How much money do I want in this account? Planning those things out and then living into that, like that's my intention, right? So getting those things set up as like benchmarks for each month, each quarter, et cetera, et cetera. And then you can do this for all of your other areas that I spoke about, right? So I highly encourage you to think about that, and you can break that down for the month and plug those into your calendar after you do all of this review, after you let yourself just sit, get quiet, the power of the pause, okay? Tap into your heart, open your heart, and allow yourself the gift of moving with intention. Allow yourself the gift of having a sense of direction. Allow yourself the gift of following through on doing what you say you're going to do. Nothing will help you to take your power back and improve your confidence than following through on doing the things you say you're going to do. The other thing about this is, do you say you're going to do too many things, knowing that you can't do all of those things, so you're basically sabotaging yourself in getting any of them done? Notice and just reflect, bring some awareness to this part in your last quarter, in your last month, and then take a step back and say, okay, what can I put down here that I know for sure I will follow through on, and put a date on that. There's power in this. There's power in following through. There's power in setting intentions down that you are fully behind. Don't put too much down that you know deep down that you can't do all of those things, because you're just going to prove to yourself that you can't do what you say you're going to. Super important to be able to know that you can do those things, because the more you don't do what you say you're going to, the more you're proving to yourself that you can't follow through, that you aren't the person you want to be, and that it's not possible for you. But you're only doing that to yourself, right? So make sure you shift that up. Have some awareness, follow through on your action, and have some more self-accountability for you. This is for you. This is not for anyone else. You have nothing to prove. This is your life. I want you to live a life of deep intention, knowing who you are, knowing what you want, following through on that. There's nothing that's more exciting than having a real vision for you and for your life, and then allowing that to guide you, allowing yourself to be excited about that, allowing yourself to be in this constant energy of creation. Oh, it's the best. It's the best when you get super clear and super excited on what it is you want, believing you can have it, and taking your steps and your action into co-creating that, right? And you co-create that with a power of your own understanding, whether that's the universe, God, angels, source, whoever you connect with the most. That's who you're in this like co-creation relationship with. It's super powerful, you guys. It's just the best. It's so fun. So with what I was saying about what you get excited about, or allowing this to kind of pull you as that like excited energy, is I really encourage you to make a list of what it is you're excited about. And this is going to help you kind of tap into that energy. And you will be amazed by the things that you bring into your reality based on what it is you're excited about doing, versus saying you're going to do something but you're not actually that excited about it. Maybe you're just writing it down, or saying you're going to do it because you think it sounds good, but you're deep down not really that excited about it. This is where the law of awareness is very important. You have to be super aware of you and yourself, and this is between you and just you and yourself and the universe. Okay? That's who it's between. You have nothing to prove. There's nothing you need to fix. It's just you are whole and complete right now, and you're stepping into this next phase of creating what it is that you want to create and live a beautiful, healthy, happy, intentional, fun life. You are the creator. Wayne Dyer says that when you come to know that you are in charge of your intentions, you'll know that you're in charge of your entire world. Think about some people who you look up to or who you are inspired by. They live in the world that they created for themselves, just like you live in the world that you are creating for yourself. The beauty of this is that you can create a new world that you choose to live in based on the intentions that you set, where you're putting your focus, where you're putting your energy. Understanding that and having the awareness of knowing what it is you have the ability to change, to act on, to do something about, and knowing what it is that you don't have the ability to change something, right? Where like it's out of your hands and it's just, there's nothing that you can do about it. And so having discernment between what those two are, this actually comes down to the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Yeah? This is a prayer of of surrender, of courage, of wisdom, and a really true discernment in what it is that you truly can change for yourself. And the law of awareness helps you to identify what those things actually are. Knowing yourself well enough will help you to uncover what those things actually are. This will help you identify where you need to grow the most, and kind of coming back to the intentional life wheel of those 5 areas. What area do you need to grow in most? And what area are you maybe neglecting? What area are you putting all of your time and energy and focus towards? And then thinking about the people who are the happiest, in my opinion, are the ones who have a little bit of all of them, who don't only focus on one. Because you are a whole being. You're a multifaceted being. You need all of these things. We're human beings having this experience. We are here to have fun. We're also here to work and bring our best foot forward and to create an impact with the unique gifts that only you have to offer. We're here to live our healthiest, happiest, most, best sense of inner peace and well-being we can. We're here to create and having our life vision. We're here to have beautiful relationships with your family, with your friends, with your coworkers, with people, right? We need people. We need each other. And creating beautiful relationships is a very powerful personal development course, shall I say. So focus on your strengths. Focus on what it is that you are creating and get really clear on that. And then list out what you're excited about for this upcoming month, for this upcoming quarter. This is going to help you to get clear on these things and getting clear on which areas you're really going to focus and put your attention on. And yeah, this does take some time. This will take you a little bit of time and of some, self-reflection. And most people don't want to do this. They just don't. But you're not most people. Otherwise, you would not be listening to this episode. I know that you want to live a intentional life, and you have the power to do that. You really do. You just need to step fully into it and have fun with the process. Get excited about it. List out all of the things that you want to do for this upcoming month, for this upcoming quarter, all the things you want to experience, all the things you want to feel. And then make sure that your intentions are in alignment with the ultimate vision that you're creating for your life for this quarter, this year, the next couple of years. Knowing that the only wrong decision that you could make is not making a decision at all. Because in not making a decision, you're actually making a decision to stay in indecision. And nothing feels worse than being in that indecisive feeling, because you just feel so out of touch with your inner power, okay? With that inner strength. And one step at a time, one step forward, one step forward, one step forward, one step forward is going to reveal the path for you. You don't have to see the whole staircase to take the next step. That's not what this is about. So tune into your heart, ask yourself what you're really excited about, what really will light you up to step into next. After you've done your releasing of the past month, of the past quarter, forgiving, I let it go, closing that chapter. Now, with all this clear space, I can move forward and look forward and plan forward and set my intentions for forward, because I have released all of the things that would otherwise be lingering in my mind that I don't need to bring forward with me anymore. Okay? Okay. Amazing. I'm going to leave you guys with one more quote. This is by Carl Jung. Your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakens. So Good. So open your heart, tune into your heart, have so much fun with this. I would love to hear from you guys, and any things that came up for you today, any intentions that have been revealed to you that you've uncovered, that you're planning on setting for yourself for this upcoming month or quarter, let me know. You can send me an email, Alisha@AlishaLeytem.com, or you can message me over on LinkedIn or Instagram. I'm so proud of you guys. Thank you for tuning in with me. Again, if you like this episode, please share it with a friend. You can share the episode, take a screenshot of you listening to it and share it on your Instagram stories. You can tag me over there. If you're over on LinkedIn, share your favorite takeaway from this that you're going to be doing and maybe applying into your professional life and your career. And you can tag me over there. I'd love to hear how that's going. And you guys, don't forget my book, The 6 Gold Keys to Wellbeing, A Guide to Unlocking a Healthy and Happy Life, is going to be out at the end of the month, April 29th. I am thrilled. I'm so excited. I just can't wait to birth this into the world. Wow. It's going to be amazing. And my intention is that it helps every single person who reads it in some capacity for what it is that they are looking for. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I will see you on our next episode. We have some really fun guests coming up soon, I promise. And if there's someone that you would like to have me interview on the podcast, just send me an email, Alisha@AlishaLeytem.com. Or if you would like me to be a guest on one of your favorite podcasts, let that podcast host know, or you can let me know and I can have my team reach out to them as well, and we can cross over to each other's worlds. All right, I hope you have a beautiful day, and I will see you next time. Namaste.